I'm so happy right now, and I'm so happy I cannot contain my joy. I thought to put a write-up together, but I'm going to do a video to put this out there so that posterity will judge me. And just in case tomorrow anything change, I'm happy that I have put my voice out. I'm happy. I'm one of the happiest Nigerians at the moment. Two Nigerian young activists who currently serve in the government of Governor Sheriff Oboriwori has resigned their appointment as SSAs. Victor Oche, Comrade Victor Oje, I think, is was an SSA until a couple of hours ago to the Delta State government on civil society and NGOs. Then, of course, Harrison Gwamnishu, the very popular Harrison Gwamnishu, was an SSA on, I think, civil society and youth mobilization. Both of them have resigned their appointments, citing various. And then what is making them resign is what would amaze you, and that is why I'm having this conversation, because I was talking to a friend yesterday and they were talking about all of these political bigwigs, all of them defecting, and I was saying that the Nigerian political dynamics have changed, and a lot of the things we used to say count in build up to elections doesn't count anymore. And like somebody said, it's not my words, Peter Obi won and earned over 6 million votes, even in INEC's records, without having a sitting governor. So a lot of the things that we used to call politics have moved on from where it is traditionally, and there is some, of course, we may not have hit the crescendo, but there is some appreciable movement that has been done. And so the fact that a governor and his political structure is moving doesn't only make the state in the pocket of who the governor decide. People as if God will. And I told him, I said, there are a lot of young people that will see take stand irrespective of what their political godfather says, and he doubted that. So I'm good to see that Harrison and Victor are resigning their appointment from the Delta State government. So we'll start with Harrison. Of course, you know Harrison, very popular guy, one of the very few persons on the media that I follow, and I follow religiously. I like Harrison. I have one-on-one in contact with him. We've spoken a couple of times. We've had to solve a few issues together. I've recommended and referred people to him. I recommended him to also something. So good news, right? So he's put out his resignation from the government, and this time he's carefully left out the defection to the All Progressives Congress. But he said something that indicts Governor Sheriff Oboriwori, because if you follow Harrison, by the way, go to his Facebook page. Sometimes he's been risking his life, jumping from one. There is no event before. In the last 2 years, I've been really scared for him. And so, in the last few months, he's been back and forth with the kidnappers that have been messy. If you follow him and you follow the news, although there's so much suppression in the mainstream media, social media has been helping us do that. The Asaba, Ogwashuku, Iseluku. By the way, I was born in Iseluku, so I have huge attachment to Delta State. It's so much of me. I spent, beyond being born there, I spent a couple of my other years at some point, film academy training, work somewhere in Isoko in Delta State. So I kind of understand the terrain. So Harrison has been complaining heavily about what's happening in Asaba and all of that. And as an SSA, I expect that at some point I'm going to see renewed government focus, state government focus in doing all of that. But I haven't seen. So maybe I'm not getting, maybe, of course, he's a government appointee. Maybe government is the one projecting. He's stating here today, as part of his resignation point, that all of the effort is put in to draw the state government attention to how they can have a renewed security of lives and properties, which, of course, every serious government, as the constitution of this country, the welfare of the citizens is the most important thing, and that's followed by security of lives and properties. But a sitting governor has been there saying that he is developing the state and is not bothered, because the rate of kidnapping that has been happening in the Asaba, Washuku, Agbo roads, all of that, has been quite very terrific. Hate may have been. I was doing a video one time. I need to even send a DM to that brother. He sent me a DM, a young man that was attacked while him and his team were doing his pension as a real estate person. We should have heard of one very popular real estate lady that died. He told me before he was rolled into the theater for surgery that it was him and that lady and a couple of other persons that were in the bush when they attacked them. Of course, they took them away. On sighting the police getting close, they shot at them at close range, but he was able to survive that. I'll allow him. We are looking at ways. The last time we spoke, I think I need to even send him a DM to know how far he is. That's how much, and at least he shared first-hand understanding of how that means. And yet, a state government has not taken it as priorities to ensure that all of those things. What is most important? Empower local vigilante, because police has failed. Police seems to be inequipped, ineffective. They don't even have the manpower to comb all of these bushes. Support local vigilantes who understand the terrain to get into work. It has been Harrison on social media who has been calling for people to send money to support local vigilantes, whereas we have a government who collects monthly allocation from federal government, who raise internally generated revenues, yet they cannot protect the people. So we leave Harrison there. Long video already. I can't read. So Victor Oj's point now brought it very close. He said that every single effort to attract international development partners, NGOs, and innovation was stored and dumped into KIV, kept in view. What should have been a movement for progress became a standstill. Project that could have sparked industrial revolutions, brought jobs to the unemployed, and put food in the mouth of widows and orphans were met with silence. Listen, though, where are the economic projects that bring money to the hands of ordinary people? Where is the non-kinetic security architecture we so passionately advocated for the use of AI-driven CCTV in governed places of our state to protect lives and properties? He went on to say, from 1999 to date, not one tangible thing comes into the pocket of the average debt and monthly. Not one policy guarantees their safety. Not one hope touches their roof. This cannot continue, and I refuse to be part of a system that watches our people drown and collapse instead of rescuing them. And let me tell you, in case you want to bully them to say, why are they speaking now? Now, what these guys have done in the last 1 year or so, or 1 year plus, is to see how they can drive all of this. They needed to burn all their excuses. And I'm telling you this. It now got to a point now for them to realize that what this government is focusing on is about re-election. Because while Sheriff went to the All Progressives Congress, is beyond all of the theatrics we are hearing. These guys are also scared that the way this election matter is going to go, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be very, very bizarre. It's going to be there will be a lot of what very dark man call collateral damage. It's going to be very catastrophic. So they may be casualties, and some of these governors in opposition may become casualties. So they jumped in. So forget Tinubu wants to be re-elected. So they are cashing in on Tinubu re-election and interest to also sell their own narrative. So it meant that Governor Sheriff is more bothered by his re-election rather than serving the people that he actually came to serve. And forget about all these white goose and elephant projects you see around. The most important thing is to protect the lives and properties of the people as paramount. Now, who they are alive? You think everybody that jacked back from Nigeria, they were unproductive in Nigeria? Some of them were doing very well. But if a government cannot guarantee at least adequate protection of lives and property, so that, come on, what if be the work? And this is not me trying to stigmatize. I avoid all of that. What if be, why people they talk about HIV and AIDS? They say this disease may not be very deadly, but the fact that they're able to break down your immune system such that cough, cold, catarrh, headache can begin to affect you and will put your life at risk. So if a government that is supposed to build the immune system in the society, so that at least small inflation, small crimes will not put the people's life at risk, but people like Governor Sheriff would prioritize politics, 2027 politics, when you never complete 2 years for office. This is not to drag Sheriff personally, but this will tell you the kind of political space we are now in, the kind of politicians that the devil has bestowed us with. God bless these two young men. God bless two of them. Again, God bless two of them. Again, God bless two of them. We are waiting for Mr. Jollof, the rest of them, to open their eyes and tell us why they want to follow this government. Because except say they get what they promise them, where they say they want happen, at least make we dey wait. It is well with Nigeria. It is well with Nigeria.